Hey again everyone, thanks for joining me. Well, it finally cooled off here in North Texas, so we have a nice, cool, rainy afternoon, and I thought that I'd chat with you a little bit about narcissism and how the narc behaves under the mask and breaking the contract with the narcissist. I think that we can typically agree that there's a short list making its way around the internet, and has been for years, of the narcissist being grandiose, and they lack empathy, and there's a short list of this, and I think that we can agree on that, but I don't think that most of us actually recognize these traits in the narc, because I think most of the time the narcissist is covert. The other thing that happens is that the narcissist they have to be close to you. Like I've said before, it's not typically the guy at the gas station or the gal ringing you up at the grocery store. These people have to be in really close proximity to you. Family members, marriages, etc., for them to wreak this kind of destruction on your life, these kind of negative circumstances that happen, and they happen chronically. That's one of how we know that we're dealing with one of these people. It's difficult to see. It's really hard to see. One of the tests that I stumbled on about how to tell if someone is a narcissist is, again, we're talking about covert narcs. It's hard to tell. I remember I mentioned before I would talk to this one narcissist, and she would, this has been years ago now, she would say, I didn't do anything. And she was right, she didn't do anything. But let's say that we're at 0, okay, there's a 0, and you have numbers on the top of this baseline, numbers below. So you're at 0, and there are things that you don't do, things that you don't lie to people, especially if they're close to you. You don't steal from these people, or you don't cheat on these people. There's certain things that you don't do. I'm not saying that people don't make mistakes. We're not human. There's things, we go up and down this scale you can imagine, whatever it is. But above that, there are certain things that when you're in close proximity or any kind of relationship, there's certain things that are kind of expected. Things that I don't know if you can hear the thunder here, but it's a really nice rainstorm out here today. There are things that are expected. There's a certain amount of care and regard that we're expected to have when we make and I'm going to say a contract, whether it's written or unwritten, a contract with someone. There's a certain amount of regard that we should have for each other. The narcissist has zero intention of ever lifting a finger to help you in any way unless it helps them. This is how we know that we're dealing with. If you want to know if you're dealing with a covert narcissist or not, watch when you do something good or great even, and watch how they sit there with folded hands. They sit there with the folded hands. They don't acknowledge it, they don't acknowledge you, and they don't acknowledge anything good for you. You know you're dealing with a narcissist then. I'm not talking about one time, but when it's chronic and over a period of time, you know that you're dealing with these people. That's not all there is. This is like the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more going on underneath, but at least that's something that you can kind of gauge. Is this person a narcissist or not? Like I said, typically, I mean, if you saw someone that was really, outgoing and gregarious and loud, and you would know that person's a narc. We'd probably, run, not walk away from someone like that. We wouldn't get involved with them. But if we don't understand what these people are about, then we tend to get involved with them, especially if you were dealing with that in the past. So, to the part of breaking the contract, loyalty is a great thing. I mean, loyalty is something that we need in all kinds of situations, and typically we're supposed to be loyal to each other in our families and in our marriages and the families we create. But if all parties aren't loyal, then that can be a real disadvantage for for those of us that are striving to be loyal, where the narcissist has no intention of being loyal. They see that as a weakness on your part, and B, this is where it gets kind of scary. They see it really more as the narcissist sees your loyalty or your openness as a threat. And if someone's threatened, then they're likely to take action on that. Again, it's most of this time it's going to be unknown to you, whether it's a smear campaign behind your back, or whether they're stealing from you, or lying to you, or gaslighting you. They're going to find ways to try to manage what you see and what you, or how you behave. They try to manage your behavior through these techniques. So if you're busy rocking the boat with a narcissist or a group of these people, you need to be careful. You're in a dangerous situation with them. So, and I wish I'd known that early on, known what I was dealing with, because I was completely in the dark with, especially one of these, where I thought, you know, I was doing what I'm supposed to do. Why aren't you doing what you're supposed to do? Again, this is a long time ago now, so I feel like I've pretty much recovered 100%. But at the time, it was devastating. On that note, that it's dangerous and that you need to know the danger you're in, you need to know how to deal with this. I hear people talk about going no contact all the time. Just go no contact. Just don't talk to. It's not always that easy. Sometimes you're related to that person. Sometimes you're living under the same roof as that person. Sometimes you don't have the money to leave. Maybe you're married to them. Maybe you have kids with them. How are you supposed to just have no contact? You can't. So you're going to have limited contact as you go, as limited as you are required to have. So breaking the contract. When someone is continually breaking their word to you, and they're making mistakes, remember how they make mistakes? Oh, it was just a mistake. It's just, you know, and this person doesn't make mistakes. In other words, it's always with you. They always made a mistake. It's always a mistake. It's time to break that contract with them. I know a lot of us want to be loyal to our families, and we want to be loyal to our spouse, and even to our kids. But you know what? If they're going to continue to behave in those ways that are destructive to you and to your life, eventually you got to cut bait. You got to go. You're going to have to sidestep the loyalty business and take care of yourself first. So anyway, the covert narcissist, hard to see. It's hard to detect. Once you do detect them, you're going to have to make arrangements to get away from them. If they already haven't made arrangements to get away from you, if they haven't set you up. And that's a common thing too. They may already be on to you that you are on to them, and they may be setting you up for a big fall. Be very careful with that. So anyway, break the contract with them, and make a new contract with you and new behaviors. And anyway, I hope that helps someone, and I hope to see y'all again real soon. Thanks.